일단 필수 항목부터. 구독과 좋아요, 알림 설정까지. 이 영상을 보셨다면 꾹 부탁합니다. 자, 첫 번째 읽을 거는 이건데 재밌게 봐주세요. Seriously, silly colour. The elves and the story maker. There was once a silly story maker and his wife who were very poor. The old man hadn't sold a story in years, and they had nothing to eat but old storybooks with the cheese on top. One evening, sitting in front of his dusty old computer, the story maker realized that he couldn't start a new story because he didn't have a single idea in his head. Well, that's it, he told his wife. I'll never write another book. Don't worry, she said. Leave your computer and come to bed. Asked silly story maker and had no ideas. He had no dreams at all, and he slept deeply until morning. When he went down in the morning, he was amazed to see that there was the beginning of the story printed neatly next to his computer. He sat down and read it carefully. It was a brilliant beginning. Whoever can have written this? He asked his wife. Well, husband, she replied. In the night, I heard a tiny noise. Tippity-tap, tippity-tap. I crept downstairs and saw two teeny elves beginning your story. They were singing as they worked. We are teeny little elves. We'll put stories on your shelves. Elves, laughed the story maker. You're making up stories. It's true, said his wife. And there's the beginning of the story to prove it. If only I could think of a middle bit for the story, he told his wife. A scary bit would be good. That night he went to bed as before, and when he came down in the morning, there was the middle bit in the story waiting for him. It was better than ever and really scary. Whoever can have written this? He asked his wife again. Well, husband, she replied. In the night, I heard a scary noise. Tippity-tap, tippity-tap. I felt very frightened, but I crept downstairs. Suddenly, I saw two huge gorillas writing your story. They were singing as they worked. We are gorillas, big and hairy. The middle bit is really scary. Gorillas, laughed the story maker. You're making up stories. It's true, said his wife, and there's the middle of the story to prove it. If only I could think of some silly jokes, he told his wife. The story would be even better still. That night he went to bed as before, and when he came down in the morning, there was the story with lots of silly jokes. Whoever can have written these silly jokes? He giggled. Well, husband, she replied. In the night I heard a noise. Zippity-zap, zippity-zap. I crept downstairs and saw two silly aliens writing jokes. They were singing as they worked. We are aliens, Willy and Nilly. We write the jokes that are really silly. Aliens, laughed the story maker. You must be joking. It's true, said his wife, and there's the silly story to prove it. All we need now is an end for the story, said the other, but I haven't got any ideas at all. That evening, the old story writer went to bed as before, but in the middle of the night, he woke up. He heard a funny noise. Tippity-tap, tippity-tap. I will go and thank the person who has written the fantastic story, he said. He crept out of bed and saw and down the stairs. Someone was singing in the kitchen. Writing story is really fun, and now my book is nearly done. The story maker opened the door, and there was his wife. You have been making up stories, he said. Yes, she said. And now we can sell the story and buy all the food we need and a brand new computer. The old man gave his wife a big kiss. Then they sat down at the table side by side and read the story. It had a brilliant beginning. It had a scary middle. It had lots of silly jokes. But the best bit of all was the end. 두 번째는 Serious Silly Color, Freddy Frogface. 책 읽겠습니다. On a log by a bog sat a frog. His name was Freddy Frogface. Freddy had a big family. Their name was Willie, Jilly, and Sue, Mommy, Daddy, Uncle Hugh, Granny, Fanny, Cousin Mary's, little Birdie, and dear old Doris. There were also 70 frog-faced tatters and 392 frog-faced babies. Everyone in the bog loved Freddy. He was always making them laugh with silly face and little tricks, and he told such funny jokes. How did the frog feel when he broke his leg? We don't know, Freddy. How did the frog feel? Unhappy. Everybody crowed and laughed. Crow, crow, that's such a silly joke. And even the babies wobbled in their jelly. Now, not far from the bog was a great palace. It was the home of the Sawyer's king. He had not left for 27 years. The Sawyer's king had a beautiful daughter called the Sad Princess. And the Sad Princess had a beautiful sausage dog called the Sad Sausage Dog. Sausage, delicious. One day, the Sad Princess took the Sad Sausage Dog for a run. It was very foggy. He went for a jog in the fog. He slipped and fell over a log. She dropped her dog in the bog. Suddenly, he popped a frog. Hi, who dropped a dog in my bog? Please give me my dog, said the princess sadly. What will I get in return? Asked Freddy. I got a big A great big sloppy kiss," said the sad princess. So Freddie pulled the sad sausage dog out of the bog. Then he closed his eyes and waited for the great big sloppy kiss. He waited a long time. When he opened his eyes, the sad princess had jogged away, and so had the sausage dog. On a log by a bog sat a sad little frog. One of the toddler frogs had an idea. "Let's go to the great palace and find Freddy's girlfriend," he said. "Croak, croak, come on, folk." So off they went out of the bog, over the hill, and up the steps of the great palace. Willie, Jilly, Aunt Sue, Mommy, Daddy, Uncle Hilly, Granny Fanny, Cousin Murky, little Brady, dear old Doris. 20 frog-faced toddlers and 392 frog-faced babies. The frog-faced family arrived in the middle of the Cyrus dinner party. "What funny guests," said the Cyrus King. "If you can make me smile, you may sit next to my daughter." So Freddie told a funny joke. "How did the frog lose his car?" "We don't know, Freddie." "How did the frog lose his car?" "It got towed away." "Croak, croak, it's enough to make you choke." Then the Cyrus King smiled just a teeny bit. Freddie hopped up and squished between the sad princess and the sad sausage dog. He felt very happy. "Guess what?" whispered Freddie. "If you gave me a kiss, I would turn into a handsome prince." The sad princess gave Freddie a great big sloppy kiss. But Freddie did not turn into a handsome prince. Ew. Sausage. "I forgot," said Freddie. "You have to kiss my family too." So the sad princess gave Freddie another great big sloppy kiss. She also kissed Willie, Jilly, and Sue, Mommy, Daddy, Uncle Hutch, Granny Fanny, Cousin Marcy, little Bratty, and dear old Doris. But still, Freddie did not turn into a handsome prince. "Don't forget the babies," he said. So the sad princess gave each of the babies a kiss too, and still nothing happened. It was another one of Freddie's tricks. "Croak, croak, croak, it was just a joke." All the little froggies croaked with laughter. "Croak, croak, he's such a funny bloke." Then a very funny thing happened. The Cyrus King began to smile. The Cyrus King began to laugh, and the Cyrus King turned into a serious silly king. "You may marry my daughter," he giggled. "Oh no," said Freddie. "I don't fancy your daughter, but I love her sausage dog." On a log in the fog by a bog sat a frog and a dog. "Fancy a snook?"